What up, gang? Carolina Jackpot coming at you on Saturday morning. Hope everybody's doing good. You know, doing what I do for a living, running the chip route. I'm kind of still in the retail sector, but I'm really not. I backstory there. The first 28 years of my working life, from the time I turned 16 until the end of 2018, so a little less than 28 years, I worked in grocery for two different companies. And, of course, the first 5-6 years of that was part-time. But I eventually turned it into a full-time career, store manager with two different companies. And I enjoyed it, met a lot of people, saw a lot of things change, a lot of things came, a lot of things went, a lot of new products came in, old products came out, saw a lot of trends get started, a lot of trends fade away. It was a memorable experience, no doubt. Then kind of my career with my last employer there, Ingalls Markets, kind of had to come to an abrupt end. I did the video on that a few years ago, and I won't rehash that one. Was demoted from my position as store manager when there was no justification for it. And I subsequently left the company 2 weeks later. It happened. I was angry about it for a long time. It's had a lot of just built up really, really bad feelings for a long time after that. But I've pretty much gotten over it since then. I've moved on. Fortunately, it hasn't hurt me career-wise. In fact, it shaped me. I made a lot of friends there, made a lot of relationships. I'm not going to say I learned a lot of things at that company. I learned most of what made me a successful person in the grocery business at Winn-Dixie, which is my first job that I had until the end of 2005, when the company had filed for bankruptcy and they closed all their stores and they moved them out of North and South Carolina. And to this day, Winn-Dixie's like kind of it's been bought out by several different entities. Now it's been bought out by Aldi. They're in the process of changing them overall to Aldi, I think, and they were going to close all the Winn-Dixies. And from what I understand now, they're going to keep some of them still operating as Winn-Dixie, but they're mainly confined to Florida. And the company is nothing compared to what it was at one time. Nothing compared to what it was. When I worked there, it's a shell of its former self. It may as well be gone. Just put it that way. But, I worked for Variety Wholesalers, which is Rose's discount stores, for 4 years after I left Ingalls Markets. Had a district manager's job for a year. I never in my life thought that, I worked myself up to a district manager. I never thought I was, I'm not going to say I didn't think I was smart enough. I knew I was smart enough. I knew I had the passion and the drive for it. I just didn't think that people would think I was professional enough, professional looking. I'm not willing to relocate to an area, scared to move around the country or whatever. So I never really thought that I would make it in that role anywhere. But I did it for a year. I was living in Lumberton, North Carolina during the week, and would drive home here to Simpsonville, South Carolina on the weekends, and I just got tired of it. And quite frankly, it wasn't so much I was tired of that. I say that, and that's kind of an excuse. I was just tired of managing people. That's just the bottom line. I just got burnt out on it. After how long have I been in management? I got my first management role in 1995. And that was just like an assistant grocery type manager role. So take that to 2022 when I left Roses. That's a long time. And at the time I was 46, 47 when I quit. I just turned 50. And I like the route business. I like doing this a lot. Like you are your own boss, but you're not. I mean, they say you set your own hours. That's not entirely true. You don't set your own hours. Like I couldn't go out and work all my stores at 2:00 in the morning on third shift if I wanted to. Number one reason you can't set your own schedule. You have grocery stores, you have supermarkets you have to work, and they have specific windows when you can check in, and it's usually between like the hours of 6 a.m. and noon, maybe 1 if you're lucky. I know some Walmarts will let you in at 4 a.m. Most of them start at 5 a.m. and they'll go till about noon, 1 o'clock. After that, you really can't check in. You can, if you, I guess, develop a decent enough relationship with store management, they'll check you in. I know at Publix will check you in anytime. If you're out of product and you need to bring something in, they'll check you in, which is a good thing. And honestly, that's the way it should be with any grocery store. I should check you in at any time if it's an emergency. We're not going to make a habit of checking this guy in every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock because that's when he wants to come do his route. That is, for instance, that you wouldn't be that way. But if you're out of product and you need to make an emergency delivery, they'll let you bring it in. That's not going to be a problem. But like I said, you don't set your own schedule. It's not totally that. It's dictated by business. It's dictated by once again what days you need to work where. It also has to do with how many stops you have on your route. How many grocery stores do you have? How many convenience stores do you have? How many variety stores do you have? You have to kind of space them out during the day. Mine are usually grocery stores early, then variety and convenience stores from like 11 a.m. on until I'm done for the day. And you got to space them out according to where you're at, how big your route is. You want to try to work in clusters each day so that you're not zigzagging all over the place and doing a bunch of silly stuff and wasting fuel, because you have to purchase your own fuel unless you work for a company where you're a 1040 employee, and then they'll provide your fuel for you. But you have to buy your own fuel. It's a tax write-off, but I'm getting my taxes worked up right now. She's got them. She'll have them back in a few weeks to me, so I can find out how much I owe. But that's not as big of a tax write-off as you'd think it is. The gas expense. So keep that in mind. You don't want to, just pour all your money into your gas tank. But that's not the real premise of this. That's kind of a backstory of what I've got going on. But I was noticing in retail, I don't know what's happening like to variety stores, retail, and discount chains, but I specifically noticed there's several companies that, two of which kind of, they didn't hire Carolina Jackpot at one point in time. I have been a person where, especially during my time with Ingles Markets toward the end, and even with my time at Roses, I was always looking for a different opportunity. I'm not going to say I was unhappy with what I was doing, but I was always kind of open to a different opportunity. And ever so often I would put in applications at different places online. apply for different managerial roles with other companies and send out resumes. And my resume was always there on LinkedIn and Indeed, wherever else you may be able to find it. So it was readily easy to apply. But Party City is one place that Carolina Jackpot applied for probably 3 years ago, I'm going to say. Talked with someone, like a corporate recruiter. He set up a phone conversation with me and a district manager here in the Greenville, South Carolina area. And I came up and interviewed with him. And I talked to this guy. Tell me if this is the story for a lot of people. I sat there in an interview. I talked with this guy for probably an hour and a half in an interview. And this was when I was a DM at Rose's. And it was for a store manager position. And it actually was going to pay more than the DM job that I had. And it would have been near my home. So it would have been a win-win. Took me around a tour on the store. We looked at this. It wasn't long, but it wasn't long before Halloween time, which is like their time. So when they do like 90% of their sales, I had no idea that was true. But so we talked, and he promised to get back in touch with me ASAP. He needs to get this position filled soon, and he really likes it. Never heard back from the guy, ever. So what was your name? Chris, I think was your name. Hey, if you're out there somewhere watching this video, I bet you are, comment on, let Carolina Jackpot know why you ghosted him. Anyway, I find out that Party City is going bankrupt. I found this out at the same time that Big Lots went bankrupt. I don't think they're not owned by the same people. Both of them went bankrupt and are closing all their stores. They're all going to be gone soon. And I noticed on Party City on LinkedIn, someone was on there. There are a lot of people who get on LinkedIn and post pictures that brag on things, and that's great and all. I prefer to, if I have something that looks nice, let your sales and the customers that you see, brag to them. You know what I mean? We're bragging to everybody out there about what we did, and oftentimes it's things that your team did that we're taking a picture of, but that's neither here nor there. This is how focused my team is during Christmas, even though they knew we were going to close down. That's great. In these uncertain times, I hope they were out looking for a job, and I hope you were helping them to try to facilitate that. It's unfortunate. I mean, that everybody there is going to lose their job, and they're going to have to go find something else. That being Party City, and that's kind of a specialty type thing, but you can probably parlay the skills you have there into something else. But I mean, people are purchasing stuff for parties that I've never went. I mean, first of all, I don't throw many parties, but if I do get something, I mean, I'm going to get something from Dollar General or something cheap because I'm going to throw it away anyway. I mean, why do I want to go spend a bunch of money for a party that's going to last for 2 hours and then we're going to be done with it? Yeah, we want to create memories. The memories are created by the people. The memories are not created by the knickknacks we got sitting around everywhere. So a lot of people shop off Amazon for stuff like that too. My wife got some 50th birthday stuff for me and hung it up here, some black balloons, and it's over the hill decor, and the little something with a little tombstone on it, and she got it all off Amazon. So I think that's what killed that place. They had filed for bankruptcy one time before too. Another one that is going away would be Big Lots. That surprised me. Big Lots has been around for a long time. They have a lot of closeout merchandise, or they always did. Had a lot of closeout merchandise, and at one point in time, back, I don't know, I'd say 20, 25 years ago, stores used to always be real junky, and they had a wide variety of things. But to be quite honest with you, back then they were more fun to shop at, and they had better prices, obviously. And I think they probably were making more money on the bottom line. Now their stores they're nice, they're clean, they're trim, they're well signed, they're well merchandised, but they're obviously weren't making any money, and they all went belly up. Now, what I understand, my former employer, Variety Wholesalers, is working with some company, and they've bought like 300 of those stores. I don't know if they're going to turn them into Rose's stores. I don't know if they're going to leave them as Big Lot stores. I have no clue. That's kind of a strange undertaking too. Variety Wholesalers got a. I'm not gonna. They're kind of real. They're real tight-lipped about how much money they're making. It's not a public company. It's a family-owned company. The Popes, a real wealthy family in North Carolina, that were in politics, I think, are some of the ones that are like the major holders of that company. And you have no idea how much money they're making. It's kind of weird. I'm not gonna say it's shady, but it's obviously not. But it's just strange. It was different from anything I've worked for before, because Ingalls was on the New York Stock Exchange. We knew what the company was doing. We knew how it was performing. Same thing with Utz Quality Foods right now. I know how the stock's performing. I know because it's it's all public information. And then I noticed yesterday, that Bargain Hunt, another store that has like 100 locations, kind of spread throughout the South and some of the East Coast, maybe a little in the Midwest, is going bankrupt and closing all their stores. They are what Big Lots once was. It's kind of a no-frills store. It can be kind of junky. That starts marked down. They're all like clearance items, and they'll start here, and then they'll go down to like a red tag was like in this tier, and then like a green tag was in this tier lower, and then so it went down in price. And they had some like scratch and dent appliances and things that probably worked just fine, maybe not as aesthetically pleasing as some of the other appliances, but I saw they were going bankrupt, and I actually applied for a manager job with them several years ago. And it wasn't going to be it was a store manager position here in Greenville, and it wasn't going to pay as well, but like it would have been on par with what I was making at the time. But I wanted to join that because I liked their concept, and I thought this is a place that really has potential to grow. So that's why I decided to try to go there. And I interviewed with them over the phone. And then I get a letter back, like, I don't know, a week later that, I'm going to keep your stuff on file because I thought that you were an excellent match. Unfortunately, we decided to do an internal promotion. Okay, well then, my old dogs are looking at somebody walking down the street in the rain. Someone referred to them in a video the other day as ankle biters. They're a pug and a Shih Tzu. I can tell you, neither one of them has ever bitten my ankles. They've been nothing but loving. That we did. Why I don't understand why you would post something out there for everyone to apply to, and you're actually taking resumes and you're interviewing people if you are going to promote from within your company. Now, I understand that there are companies that have legal obligations to post certain things for others to apply to, even though they already know who they're going to promote. Winn-Dixie did a lot of that stuff. They had to do a job posting for a position. If it came open, that was they got sued for that many years ago. But for just like promoting people, and they were passing over minorities and females and stuff like that. So the job posting system came in, even though they knew who they wanted anyway for those jobs. But you don't have to post stuff on Indeed to make it legal. You'd have to post it on your company's website, where or post it in your stores, where the people in your store have an opportunity to see that there is an opening and that there's potential for them to apply for said job. Not on an outside job board. You don't. That's not legally binding, I don't think, anywhere. But they didn't hire Carolina Jackpot, and then they end up going belly up. So I'm not sitting here pointing fingers and laughing at these companies because they're going belly up, and that Carolina Jackpot dodged a bullet there. Because something could happen to the entity I work for. You never know. Hopefully not. Knock on wood, I work hard every day, 6, sometimes 7 days a week to try to make things successful, especially to make my business grow and to help grow the brand, to get the Utz Quality Foods name out there for everyone. There's a lot of people. I have so many ideas up here in my head that I wish we would do as a company. I feel like I'm not going to go on a big soapbox, man. I'll make a video about this sometime, but I don't feel like we do a really good job of marketing to children. Frito-Lay does a great job of marketing to children and teenagers. The flaming hot Cheetos, a million different kinds of Doritos, the many different kinds of multicolored multi-pack chips. These are eye-catching. They draw people to them, and you've got to cater to children. You've got to cater to teenagers. Why? Because these are the individuals that are going to grow up to become adults in 10 years. And buy your product. We have great products. We make great products, but we don't introduce a lot of new products to go with the really great products we have now, and we don't do a great job of marketing to children and kids and parents. We do have some nice multi-packs, 10 packs, 18 packs of chips. But you go in Walmart, Frito-Lay has 24 feet of shelf space in my Walmart for the multi-pack chips. We have nothing. We have no facings, none. I took a pallet of multi-pack chips in my Walmart back in August. I sold them to them because they carry them. It's an item that they can carry. A pallet, which was, I think, 60 flats, 60 times 6, 360 of them. They were $5.48 or $5.37, I think it was, on the rollback. And we had stickers of rolls of $1 off multi-pack stickers, the coupon or whatever. So, being the ingenuous individual I am, I took about 3 rolls of those coupons and I put one on every single multi-pack, every one of them. And I told Walmart, oh, and by the way, these have got a coupon on them. They're like, great, we're going to put them at the front of Action Alley. Action Alley is their main drive aisle down the food department. They wanted them up front and center because that's $4.37 for a 10-pack of chips. Can't beat it. And they were gone. It took 2 weeks, I think, for all of them, and they were all totally gone. Yet we don't have any shelf space, though, for these items. And that has to do with Frito-Lay just pays the big bucks to get space where they are located at. And that's nothing that I can't do anything about that. There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing that any independent operators can really do about it. All you can do is what you can control. And unfortunately, our company's going to have to get behind pushing for probably paying up for space and some of these larger format stores to really push those products and get it out there and eventually grow the business. We'll see what happens there, but just keep your ears open. Always watch what's going on around you in terms of jobs, in terms of new opportunities, in terms of what's going on in the world, because I guarantee you the people at Big Lots 8-10 months ago probably didn't think that they were going to be out of a job today, nor did the people at Party City or Bargain Hunt. And I mean, who's next? I mean, it's like the entire retail scape is kind of falling down, and there's only a few of these places that are holding on. I mean, Variety Wholesalers, where I worked at, it's one that still remains strong, even though, as I said, we don't know what the stock's worth because there's not any, and we don't really know how much money they're making because all that information is kept private because they don't have to disclose it. They're holding on and still growing, and if they've bought these 300 closed Big Lots stores, bought the leases to these stores, assumed the leases to these stores, what have you. That was a significant financial investment, one would have to think. So it looks like they're going to be strong and around for a while. But I don't know what's happening with some of these other places. They just get in a niche, they get stuck in a rut, and they can get out of it, and eventually they're just gone under. So anyway, tell me what you guys think about that. I hope you all have a good Saturday. See you later.